Hey, how are you? Okay, so this week in the Patreon post, and you'll see it next week on the blog. If you don't sign up to the Patreon, there's a link in the script below if you want to sign up there. It does cost as little as £5 a month if you want to do that. But anyway, we have been talking about the destruction part of the transformation cycle, and it's a tough one. Right. In the longer podcast, which you get as part of the Patreon stuff, I have gone through some examples in my life of that destruction part and how heavy it was to deal with. Right. But one thing I'm going to challenge you with today is I want you to think about how you feel about destruction. Because when I was growing up, was always taught to think of it as a bad thing. Right? Destruction is never good. There's no such thing as a good destruction. Right? But then you kind of think about it, and there are some elements of destruction that are good. If you're holding a limiting self-belief, destroying that self-belief is probably good for you. Right? If there is if there is an oppressor in power somewhere, then destroying the power of that oppressor, probably good for you. If you are holding or allowing somebody else to hold power over you and that is affecting you negatively, then destroying that power over you is probably good for you. There are a whole lot of ways in which destroying things creates room for creation of better things, right? And this is at the heart of the transformation process that we talk about in Bridget's Forge. There's a huge, big, long blog post out about this anyway, right? So don't stress about it. I go into a lot of examples of what creation and destruction can be. But ultimately, what I would like you to think about is we talk about being on the anvil as being part of, going through that transformation period, part of that kind of you're getting beaten down, everything feels like shit, and you just feel like you're getting the shite kicked out of you, right? It's tough. It's hard. It's not easy, but it might be an essential part of a longer process. So if you're on that anvil piece, if you're in the forge and you're working through a transformative process, if you're in that kind of phase of a process right now, sit down and think, right? Journal or write or sing or dance or draw or however you do your thought processing. And think about, okay, this feels like shit. What's being destroyed? And what are the possible good things that can come out of this? Think about it, see what happens. And if you have any questions or anything, throw them in the comments below and I'll see about answering them. All right. Slán, Bríd live.